great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.
Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is Sunday, March 2nd, 2025, and it's episode 775 of the Immigration Answer Show. I'll be here for the next hour, wishing you all salam, shalom, peace, happiness, joy. How are you all doing? Today is Sunday. Nurse Lars having a lazy Sunday. That sounds good to me. I'm up in Troy, Missouri, Trump country. They love their guns and their flags up here. Do you ever see those trucks that run by with the guys that have like the huge Trump truck or flags and like they're just trying to intimidate people? Aren't those guys just annoying as all get out? I don't know. Do you guys have that where you live, or is that just here? I didn't see any of those guys today, but I have seen them out here lately. All right. Like I said, my name is Jim. I'm an immigration lawyer. I like to talk about immigration. You know, my wife said one day, she said she likes to do hard things. She likes to do hard things. And I told her I thought that was silly. Why would you want to do hard things? I don't like to do hard things. I do like to do hard things, but she likes to do hard things more than me. I don't know. Seems sort of silly. All right. The waiting room is full. I have shared the link to the waiting room, and I'll share it a couple more times. But we're going to start our show with Joy today. How about that? Hello, Joy.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you, Jim?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing well. So I'm calling on behalf of my mom. So
Great.
she came here in 2019 as a green card holder. And then in October 2020, she applied for my brother, who's 21 years old. Oh, older than 21, unmarried. So now she's scheduled to have her oath-taking ceremony March 11th. And so so my brother is under the F2B category. So I want to know how she goes about changing the category to an F1 after she has her oath-taking.
Well, the case is still at USCIS, right?
Yes.
It hasn't been approved?
No, it hasn't been approved.
So when she gets her naturalization certificate, she'll make a copy of it and she'll send it to wherever her son's case is pending and say, hey, I became a citizen. Please change him from F2B to F1.
Okay, so
that'll be
just
keep waiting.
We'll just send a letter, or just is email okay?
No, I would do a letter. With proof of delivery. I mean, none of this is going to matter for a really long time, but it's fine to go ahead and notify them. She'll probably have to notify them again once the case gets to the National Visa Center.
Priority date, can we keep it? Can we keep the original priority date?
Yes. Yeah. But she's still years away from it being current. So like I said, it's fine to notify them now, but really it'll be later that's important. But you can go ahead. I would do it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. That's it.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right. That was Joy. Let's go to Ashley. Hello, Ashley.
Hi. So I was here on Friday, but I gave you the wrong date. So I wanted to come back here and to tell you that my boyfriend, he wants to get his papers. So
Right.
I told you about that. So I told you that he entered the United States. He entered here in 98. So I told you a different date. So
yeah,
I don't know.
So that means, and he had multiple entries in 1998, right? He tried
Yes.
every time.
Yes.
So most likely he has a permanent bar. I probably wouldn't apply for anything for him.
No.
I mean, you guys need to have a consultation with we can't just talk about this on YouTube. I can't tell you
Right.
whether it's safe for someone to file or whether they should or shouldn't file.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
Yes.
his whole
Yeah.
life. So,
Yeah.
but generally, if he tried to enter 3 times in 1998,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
after the new law went into effect, and he's probably
Yes.
screwed.
So, with my daughter, well, I told you that she had a disability. She's like autistic, and I'm her CNA. So not through that, right? Or through marriage.
No, if you got married, I mean, he still has this huge problem, which is he's got the
Yeah.
permanent bar because
Yeah.
he entered, got kicked out, entered, got kicked out,
Yeah.
entered again. So that's
Yeah.
a big problem.
So.
Thanks, Ashley. All right. Mandamus worked. I'm going to come over to you. Do you want to turn off your camera? You can leave it on if you want. It's up to you. I always like to hear when Mandamus worked. Hello.
Hey, Jim, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
Great. How you doing? Sure.
Pretty good.
What's up?
Watch your show all the time, like what you do. Just have one disagreement with you about a show you did not too long ago.
Oh, great.
You were talking about mangoes. Everybody
Awesome.
knows the best mangoes come from Kenya.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. Tell me about your mandamus. Is it one we did or somebody else did?
No, you guys actually did it last year. I took you guys on last year in April. I was waiting for an interview in the embassy in Kenya. You guys took on my case. We got the interview done, and as we talk right now, I'm in the States. Got my green card.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So this was actually for a EB3 case.
Okay.
So my question today is, I started working about 2 months ago for the employer. It's working in a warehouse. So doing a lot of heavy lifting and that sort of thing. So about a month into the job, I just kind of figured that it was because it's a warehouse job. So my back was kind of sore. So I just kind of figured like it was a job thing. I mean, just like to get the body used to it or whatever. Second month in, same problem. So I decided just to go get checked out just to make sure everything is okay. So it turns out I might have a pinched nerve in my lower back. So now the thing was, I was wondering, 2 months into the job, if this continues and I decide to leave early before, I know most lawyers maybe advise like to stay at the job like 6 months to a year or whatever. So I wanted to know if I leave before that, considering it might be a health issue, what's the outcome with USCIS?
So, did you ever have back pain before you worked there?
No.
So, I mean, at the very least, you have a workers' compensation claim, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know if it might be related to the job. I don't know. It could be, but considering that it's a warehouse job,
that's not your job.
Sorry.
That's not your job to figure out. That's the doctor's job to figure out. That's the doctor's job to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I bring up workers' comp is because if you need to go on light duty and I used to do personal injury in the old days, right? So number one, you should talk to a workers' compensation attorney. And the reason you should talk to a workers' compensation attorney is because you might not be able to physically do the job for the next 6 months, but you could probably remain employed by the employer for the next 6 months, like on light duty or limited duty. And that would help you out on the immigration angle. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to be applying for citizenship 5 years from now, and you're going to have to explain why you left. But it's very rare. Like at a citizenship interview, they'll ask where you worked, and they might pay a little bit of attention because of how you got your green card, that was employment based. But to me, if I'm an officer and I'm sitting there and you got an employment based green card, you never had back problems before, you started working at the job, you filed a comp claim, you were on light duty for a while, and you gave it your best shot, I think I'm gonna let that pass and then see where you worked for the next 4.5 years after that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Okay.
So you can email me if you want. I probably have a friend who does workers' comp where you live, just because I had that old podcast for lawyers. So you can email me if you want about that. Or you should talk to a comp lawyer. And then the only other thing I would ask is sometimes when an employer pays for somebody's green card and all that stuff, sometimes they have them sign a contract that says if you leave in a certain amount of time that they'll pay you back. You'll pay that back. Did you have anything like that?
Well, I signed this is not with the employer, but the agency that got me the
Right.
job with the employer.
Yeah.
They just said, yeah, it's pretty much like a promise, like you promised to work for 12 months, but it was no money value put on the contract.
Yeah, so just be aware. So an employer in that scenario could conceivably come after the agency or come after the agency and you for the costs. I mean, if you don't have a contract, it's a lot harder for them to do that, but technically they might still be able to do it. Depends on the laws where you live, but just keep that in the back of your mind as you negotiate this. But this is why I would go to the comptroller. I'd give it my best shot. I'd try to work and try to keep going to both build a good record for my immigration status and just, in a matter of good faith to the people that went out on a limb and sponsored you for a green card.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Okay, yeah, and
Oh,
that's
man.
why actually when I was looking at because somebody kind of mentioned the same thing about getting workers' comp, and I mean I wouldn't want to drag them out into something like that, especially that they actually went out and filed this.
Yeah, but they shouldn't get too worked up about it. They have insurance for that. I mean, as an employer, you have to have insurance, and so I mean, I guess some employers get mad about that, but I don't think it's a big deal.
Okay, makes sense.
All right, thanks,
Okay,
man.
thank you.
Thanks for the
Thank you
call.
so much. Take care. All right,
Yeah.
bye.
All right, bye. Employment visa from Kenya. How about that? Let's go to Red Sky Painting, and then we'll go to Muhammad.
Hey Jim,
Hello,
what's
Red
up?
Sky.
How are you? How are you, Jim?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for taking my call. I have two questions. I know you're gonna ask me why you don't do citizenship, but that's next time. So my question is this: I have a green card, received 14 years ago. I renew already. Can I travel to Poland for 2 weeks with my wife?
Of course.
Next question is, I have crime, but the crime it's way before I receive the green card. That's the lowest disorderly conduct, and the immigration no, because if there will be deplorable offense, they will never give me the green card. They will never renew, and they will be stopping me in the airport, which is they always do. So the crime it's not deplorable, because some of the crime is deplorable. But let me ask you, when I travel on 12 years ago, when I have condition, they never pull me over. Now with the 10 years green card, they always take me to secondary just because of the crime. And they always come back. They said, welcome back.
What was it? What was the disorderly conduct? Was it a fight?
I use restroom outside. and look, but that's a crime, misdemeanor C. I have supervision, and they know it. That's the reason the crime, because that's not deplorable. I just renewed green card 2 years ago with no problem, so I can travel with no problem.
Was it in America, the disorderly conduct?
It's Illinois, yeah, but it's Illinois. It was in Chicago, Illinois, but that's 15 years before I get the green card. But they know, that's why they pull me over always. But I checked the penal code in Illinois, and I know it's not deplorable. The penalty was $1,000 and 30 days in jail, but I spent overnight only. So. And I just traveled to Poland recently. 7 months ago, they put me in a room. After hour, they came, they give me passport, they give me green cards, and they welcome back. So, because when I listened to you a couple of times, you said, you told me no problem to travel, right?
No problem.
But sometimes you said if green card, you're not recommended, maybe different people. I don't know.
No. I just no. Right now, I'm just saying because Trump's so crazy. But you've got a long time green card. I think you're fine. Hey, what do people do in Poland for fun?
Well, I don't know. That's a question. I mean, you've been in Europe before.
I've been to Europe, but I haven't gone to Poland. I'd like to go to Poland.
I'm from Poznań, but go to Krakow. It's nice. It's different. It's nice. It's very safe in Europe right now. And yeah, so I'm glad I called you, man.
John Paul, that's where John.
What?
Isn't Krakow where the II came from?
Who?
The Pope? Wasn't the Pope from Krakow?
Oh yeah, the
Pope.
The Polish Pope. It's from Wadowice, close to Krakow. The Paul II, right?
Yeah, Paul II. Yeah,
that was the Polish Pope. So no problem. And they're always gonna put me to the room.
Probably till you become a citizen.
Okay.
Which is brings us back to our another question. Come on and file, dude. Come on. When
I
you
will.
get back,
I will
file.
call you office because, man, because there's a lot of stuff in the TikTok. People say don't travel, and I can
Yeah.
go with my wife, and then just they're not gonna take me away. CBP, the only way that they can take her away if you bend it, you stay over here, or you sign 407, which is I will never do that, or you when you more than 6 months. But I'm going for 2 weeks, no problem, right?
Yeah, and we're getting ready to open our Chicago office, so you can be our first client in Chicago.
You know, there's so many Polish people. You have to do advertising on the Polish radio because there's so many of
Yeah.
us here. Nobody, you know.
Good idea.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, buddy. Have a
Bye.
safe trip. See ya. Bye. Yeah, usually when you go to the immigration office, you'll see signs in English and Spanish, right? And then like if you go to Detroit, you might see it in Arabic, or you might see it in an Afghan language if you go to like Oakland. But in Chicago, they have English, Spanish, and then Polish, or maybe even English, then Polish, then Spanish. So there's a huge Polish community, and I like the idea of advertising on Polish radio. Adele and I used to do shows on Bosnian radio here in St. Louis, and those were a lot of fun. So we'll have to keep that in mind. Thank you for Red Sky Painting, and I hope he has a nice trip. All right, I'm going to go to Muhammad, and then if Litzy turns off her camera, I'll go to Litzy next. Let's go to Muhammad.
Hey, Jim, thanks for taking time, man. This is Mohammed Ansari. My case is for my dad. My dad actually filed I-130 for my three sisters back home in India in 2012, right? And the case was approved in 2015, but unfortunately, my dad passed away in 2021. And
I'm sorry to hear that.
last year, November, all three of my sisters got email saying that their case has been moved to NVC, and now they have to submit the whatever the affidavit of support and all those documents and all the stuff. And during that time too, in 2023, one of my sister came on visit, and she switched her husband came on visit with the family, and they switched it to student now. That means one sister and her family is here on student, and two of my sisters are in back home India. And my dad passed away. My mom is still alive, alhamdulillah. And she's a U.S. citizen too, and I'm a U.S. citizen too. Now I'm trying to figure out what can be done because it looks like once the case is moved to NVC, that means visa is available, but I'm not sure what needs to be done.
No, it doesn't. No, the visa's not available. I don't think. What was the filing date?
2012. I think April 2012.
You're married or unmarried daughters?
They're all married.
Unmarried?
Married.
Okay. Married daughters. So that's F3 category. So right now, they are processing and finalizing cases from July of 2010. And what'd you say? You're 2012?
Yes.
So you're right. It's starting to get close. Now you're going to have to. Has anybody notified the National Visa Center that your dad has passed away?
I have not. Nobody.
And I didn't catch it. Did you say you're a U.S. citizen too?
Yes, I'm a U.S. citizen, and my mom is a U.S. citizen too.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be pretty tough to pull off, but you're going to have to ask them to let you swap in for your dad's position. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I couldn't understand your blur. Yeah.
No, my signal went out for a minute. So what I was saying is, you have a pretty tough maneuver to pull off right now. You need to get them, for humanitarian reasons, to let you substitute for your father.
Okay.
So it's for humanitarian reasons. I think you probably need a lawyer to pull it off. We've only done this once or twice, and it's not easy to get them to pay attention to it. So it's probably going to be a year or two of really pounding on them to try to let you swap out for your dad, because they don't have to do it. It's discretionary.
Okay, because I reached out to a couple of them and they say humanitarian assistance, but now I'm trying to figure out is once we file the humanitarian assistance, do we file it for all three sisters together, or do we split it separate? And
I would do the same request in all three cases.
Same request. Okay. Same request needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And can we do anything about the sister who is here on a student right now? Can we just switch adjustment of status or anything like that?
Well, so the big question, yeah, I mean, when it becomes current, you can't now, but she could apply for adjustment if right now they're saying that the filing date is July of 2012. When did your dad file it?
For the sister that she's here, that was done actually in August 2011, though. Sorry,
Oh, so she's current. Now, here's
yes.
the big question. When she got her F1 visa, did she let them know that this I-130 was pending for her from her dad?
That she had the older visa because she was here earlier too in 20, if I'm not mistaken, 2010 or 11, somewhere like that. And she just renewed it. I don't think she put that information in, or they didn't ask for it. I'm not sure. The renewal of visa.
Wait, so, hold on. So she's been in the United States on an F1 since then, or she came back on a new visa?
She came in on the new visa.
So that means she filled out a DS-160, and you need to check really closely to make sure that she disclosed that I-130, because if she didn't, you know what they're going to call that?
Nope.
They're going to call it immigration fraud, is what they're going to call it.
Oh my God. Okay.
So you need to, because the reason I'm asking, Mohammed, is because I don't think they would have given her the visit visa if they knew she had the I-130 pending. That's why I'm worried.
A renewal too?
There's no such thing as a renewal. It's a whole new F1 visa. It's not a renewal.
Oh.
If there was a gap of her living, if she was back here in 2010 and then she went back home, and then your dad filed a I-130 for her, and then later she filed for a new F1 visa, it's not a renewal because there was a break, right? She wasn't in the United States continuously from 2010, right?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
she was not.
So that's you keep calling it a renewal, but that's not accurate. It's just a new F1. So the $1 million question for sister in the United States is, did she disclose the I-130 when she got her visit visa to the United States?
And that would be on our DS-160 form, you said, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's that. Okay.
Thanks, Mohammed.
Thank you.
Bye, buddy. All right. My internet's a little wonky. I'm up in the sticks, but it says I got a good signal, so hopefully we'll be able to keep going. Hey, look who's here. Rocio's here. Very busy with and dogs. How about that? All right. Let's go, Litzy. Hello, Litzy.
Hi, Jim. Good morning. I have a quick question for you. On 2023, I brought my mom and brother from Nicaragua using the Humanitarian Parole. A year ago, I filed an I-130 for them, and I've seen the processing times take a lot of years, right? So my question is there any other form or something else I could do so they can stay in the U.S.? Because their humanitarian parole will end this year, September this year.
So you're a U.S. citizen.
Correct.
Your mom is your mom, right? And then you have a brother, right?
Yeah.
How old is your brother?
My brother is 20.
Ooh, shit. Okay, so you filed one I-130 for your mom and one I-130 for your brother.
Yes, for both of them.
Okay, so do you know about the preference systems and about what an immediate relative is? Do you need me to explain that to you?
No, I know. So my mom will be an immediate. My brother will be like F4, right?
That's right. And you know how long of a wait that is?
More than 10 years.
It's like a 16-year wait. It's like 16, 17 years. So they have two different problems, okay?
Oh.
So your mom has a problem because your mom's problem is that USCIS says that for everybody that got paroled in from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela, that they just decided they're not going to process those cases. So right now I'm filing a lawsuit. If your mom wants to be in the lawsuit, you should email me and we can add her. We think it's illegal what they're doing. They're trying to stop the processing of everybody who got paroled in who applied for a new benefit, okay?
Okay.
Now your brother's case, I don't really know what you're going to do about your brother's case. Has he applied for asylum?
No.
Has your
But
mom?
I was thinking, like, will that be considered like fraud if I apply first for one I-130 and then I do asylum after? No.
No, no, no. But it'd be fraud if it was a fake asylum case. If he fears going back to Nicaragua and you can make an actual case, there's no fraud there. But I
Okay.
mean, it's
Yeah,
gonna,
he's
you know,
scared because
gotta.
we've seen in the news that they're not letting people in, or some people go actually to jail if
Well,
they
you have
go
to
back.
prove that he's going to be persecuted because of his race, religion, his nationality, his political opinion, or his membership in a particular social group. It can't just be that things are bad in Nicaragua. It's got to be something bad is going to happen to him because of who he is. And then you have
Oh,
to build
well,
a whole
that's the
case about it.
problem. We just hear at the news, you know, like on different cases, but not, we don't know. It's uncertain. We don't know if it's going to happen to him or no.
How about school? Has he done anything school-wise?
No.
Like, how far did he go in school before he came to the United States?
Well, he finished high school. And when he came here, he just went to the community college to take English lessons so he can improve his English.
Yeah, so I would think about seeing if I could get him onto an F1 visa, because that might let him stay here, but he's going to have to go to school full time. So he doesn't have very many options.
Okay. And then, so you're saying that all of this happening, even though I filed the I-130, they're not going to take that into account?
Well, the I-130 in and of itself. So first of all, for your mom, did you only file the I-130 or did you file a 485?
Just the I-130.
Okay, so the I-130 doesn't do much for anybody, right? That just shows that she's your mom, but she actually needs to file for adjustment of status. She's in the United States. She's still in valid status. You need to file a green card application for her right away. The I-130, because you filed it by yourself, they're going to think she's going to consular process in Nicaragua. So you're sort of not doing it all exactly right.
Oh,
So she needs to file for adjustment, and she can because she's the mother of a U.S. citizen. But what I was saying was, on February 14th, USCIS put out a memo that said, we don't like the fact that Biden let all these people in from Ukraine, Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. And so therefore, we just don't feel like we're going to process mom's I-130 anymore. But the I-130 doesn't really do you anything. You need to file for an I-45 for her right away. I don't know. Did she apply for TPS?
no.
When
We
does her?
just did the I-130.
So I think mom needs a lawyer, and I think you guys probably need to email us, and I can help you sort it all out.
Okay. Yeah, I have email, but I haven't gotten much response on it.
From us?
Yeah.
Okay, so email right now. Say, this is Litzy, and Jim said he's mad because you guys aren't replying to my emails. Please send this to Jim.
Okay. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
see
you,
ya.
Jim.
Yep, bye. All right, I'm just going to take a little break for a minute. I am fasting. I'm just chilling. I could show you guys around here, but it's pretty desolate. There's a school bus over there. There's a monster truck up on a hill over there. I don't know what that's all about. There's an American flag and looks like some John Deere equipment. There's a Citgo station, but it looks like they're not paying their bill, and Citgo made them take their sign down, so now it's just like a rundown gas station. There's a Ford dealership. There's some volleyball courts over there. No snow, thank God. It's cold. It's like 42, but it's sunny, so that's nice. I think we're done with the snow. Fatuma's here. Hello, Fatuma. She was asking about Minneapolis. Fatuma, we don't have an office in Minneapolis yet, but we probably will because Ibrahim's up there. My sophomore is a student there. I don't know, Laura. It's pretty boring here. It's pretty flat. Brown grass, blue skies. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a walking tour later. Fatuma, every university has an international student office. So you start that conversation, or your friend starts that conversation with the international student office for that friend of yours. All right. We talked to Muhammad, right? So there goes Muhammad. So we talked to Litzy. So we'll probably have some space opening up This is the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking, and I am an immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, Washington, D.C. Pretty soon we're just going to say we practice throughout the United States. It's probably what we should do, because I'm getting tired of having to list all the offices when I do my little spiel at the end of the videos. Yeah, so Fani, I am fasting. I am not Catholic. I was Catholic a long time ago, but now I'm not. All right, let's say hi to Jack. Hello, Jack.
Hi, Jim. Thanks for
How are
everything you do.
Yeah, sure.
I just had a quick question. I heard that USCIS is bringing back this alien registration requirement.
Yeah.
That requires like undocumented immigrants to, I guess, who have been in the U.S. more than 30 days to register, or else it could be treated as maybe a criminal or civil offense.
That's right.
So I just kind of had a hypo question. I was wondering, for like an undocumented immigrant doing an adjustment of status, if they don't register on the 485 and asks if they've ever committed a crime, would they mark yes to this, or is it okay to say no as well?
Well, so has said hypothetical person already filed their 485?
No, not yet.
So they're an undocumented person. Are they a visa overstay, or did they enter with an out inspection?
I'm not sure. It's actually for a friend. I haven't asked him this question yet.
That's the $1 million question, because that's going to impact whether or not they can even apply for a green card. So if they entered without inspection, they can't file a 485 with their I-130. They have to file the I-130 first.
The I-130, okay.
So this person probably needs a lawyer, but to get to your question, the way I would answer it right now is this. As is so often the case with the Trump people, they've made an announcement, right? They've made an announcement. They got the headlines. They got everybody freaked out. But there's no draft rule. There's no website to register. There's no regulations. Nothing's in effect right now. So as of right now, our little undocumented friend can't do that anyway. So they're not violating that. I mean, that person's going to have to be very careful with how they answer every question on the 485, because like if they had a visa and they overstayed, then they didn't comply with the terms of that visa. They probably worked without permission. So that's another violation. So again, this person probably needs a lawyer, but as of right now, on whatever day today is, March 2nd, 2025, there is no registry. There's no website. There's no regulations saying he has to register. They're invoking a law from the 1940s, and they have to figure out how to implement these things that Trump and evil people at DHS think up overnight. And right now, there's nothing in place.
Okay, so that's helpful.
So as far as filling out a 45, they don't have to worry about this particular thing. They got lots of other things to worry about.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that was it. Thank you very much.
Bye, Jack. See ya. All right. I am not, Alejandro, I don't think I'm going to watch the Oscars tonight. I've seen very few of the movies, and some of them seem weird. We started watching this one about a sex worker, and like the whole first 20 minutes was sex. So we turned it off. But I don't know. People are really excited about that movie, but there's nothing really like, I think we're still in the after effects of the writer's strike. And I just think they haven't been making many good movies lately. I think TV's where it's at right now. Oh, Nurse Laura, you'll be happy to know I finished Andor yesterday, and I took you up on watching Solo again on the treadmill. So I watched the first half hour today, and I will say that it was better than I remembered. So Han Solo just met Chewie, and that was fun. All right. Anxious. Well, aren't we all? Hello.
Hi, Jim. Good day.
How are you?
Thank you for taking my call. Yeah. A little backstory. So I came to the U.S. in 2014 as an international student and graduated college, did 3 years of OPT, went back for an MBA program, and left the program after a year due to financial struggles, and got out of status for like a year or about 10 months.
Yes,
tried to get reinstated back into another program back as an F1, but couldn't because I had overstayed the time to get reinstated.
We get 5 months.
Yeah, and then I got married in 2022, May 22, filed my I-130 and I-485 in October, due to financial issues too, the delay. And my spouse passed in March of 2023.
I'm sorry.
So that was 10 months into the marriage.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
And after he passed, I received a notice from USCIS for an interview in August of 23.
Yeah.
Went to the interview myself and informed them that my spouse had passed. They asked for the birth certificate, which I didn't have at the time, and they said they were going to send me an RFE to send the birth certificate. So I came back, got the death certificate, and found out that there was some information in there that needed to be amended. And I got that done before I received the RFE to send the death certificate, but that was in June of 24.
Can I ask a
So I
question?
sent, yes,
Was one of the things that you had to correct on the death certificate the fact that he was married at the time of his death?
yes.
Man, I've seen this exact fact pattern probably 5 times. And let me guess, the family doesn't like you and doesn't recognize the marriage.
One side of the family.
Okay.
So it's like a separated family. So I was closer to the father's side, but the mother's side, no. And it was a sister who filed the death certificate from the mother's side. But
And she did.
we find
Did she? When she registered the death certificate the first time, did she not know that he was married, or did she just want to screw you?
she knew, but I believe it was all in spite. She knew he was married.
Yep.
But she
Okay.
eventually
Oh, I'm
got
sorry.
it
This sucks.
amended. Yeah, she got it amended, and I sent the death certificate in July of 24. I got scheduled for another interview in November of 24, so I went to that interview. I would say for the most part, it went well, but they had a lot of questions about the amended death certificate and my relationship with the family. I had affidavits from like his dad and like a couple family members that I took with me to the interview, and they also had a lot of questions about my immigration history as far as how long I had been in the U.S. and what I was doing the whole time. And I did explain all of that, but they told me I was supposed to hear back. The only document that the officer asked for after the interview was my diploma from college. He said, when you get back, just you know how to upload stuff on the website. I was like, yes. He said, go ahead and upload that as like an evidence. That's the only thing he asked me for, which I did when I got home from the interview. But it's been past 3 months since the interview, and I haven't heard back. Another concern.
Which field office?
Dallas. Dallas
field
field
office?
Dallas.
Oh, Dallas.
Yes.
I thought you were saying that was. Okay.
And
all right. Okay.
Another concern I have, different from the fact that I haven't heard back after 3 months after the interview, is every time I go on the USCIS website and I look up my case, my I-130 is still not converted to an I-360.
Yeah.
And I have contacted Dun and InfoPass a couple of times trying to inquire about that, but they won't give me any information because they keep saying I'm not the petitioner for the I-130, so they cannot give me the information if they converted it to an I-360. And I'm made to understand that I'm supposed to receive like a letter or notice from USCIS when it's converted, but my spouse's death and a second year death anniversary is coming up this month in March.
Yeah. Right.
And I also understand that I cannot apply for any benefits after 2 years, but my I-130 is still not converted. So my question is, do I go ahead? Is it okay if I go ahead and file an I-130 at this point just to have it on file? And will an I-360, yes, an I-360. And will I be able to retain my priority date of October 22? Yeah, that's my question.
Okay, so number one, your priority date isn't all that important because your green card status is going to only start on the day that your green card starts. It won't be backdated to when you filed. So I'm not so worried about the priority date, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now listen, I have questions, okay?
Yeah.
Before this marriage, were you ever married before?
No, I was never married.
And how about your spouse?
He was never married either.
Good. Age gap?
1 year?
Not bad. And
Yeah.
on a scale of 1 to 10, when you filed the I-130, with 1 being just a little bit of marriage evidence and 10 being a ton of immigration of marriage evidence, what would you say yours was?
At the time when we got or when we filed, I would say 3.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you have a joint bank account? Did you have a lease? You did?
We had a lease, but we didn't have a joint bank account.
Okay. And taxes?
No, we
Taxes?
never got the chance to file our taxes before he passed because that was our first year of being married.
And I know this will be a strange question, but was it a surprise that he died?
Yes, he got
Okay.
it was due to gun violence.
Gun violence? Oh geez, I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, here's what I would do. You've been waiting a really long time.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they don't know what to do with your case and they're dragging things out. I mean, the fact that you do interviews to me shows that they just don't know what to do. So if I were you, I would have you email me, and I don't do this very often, but we could threaten a lawsuit. We know the U.S. attorney in Dallas. She's a good person to deal with. It would save you about half the money that we charge for a lawsuit. But if you want to go that route, I think that would get things wrapped up, or at least let you know what they think the problem is, and then you can get back to work on fixing it. But I think if we threaten to sue them, I know that U.S. attorney, she's really good, and I think she'll get things sorted out. And it'll give you a lot more information than you would, and it'd be better than filing a new 360
Okay.
forever.
All right. So I'll email you, and thank you so much for taking my
Yeah,
call.
email me. See, this is you got it. I'm sorry about your husband.
Thank you.
All right, good call. All right, how we doing, everybody? The waiting room is totally full. What the heck is going on? Let's go to Bob Marley. Hello.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Good, Bob. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm just calling on behalf of my friend. She filed for N400 on March 2022. Okay. Then they schedule her for interview on, let me see, on September 29th.
This is for green card?
This is for N400 for U.S. citizenship.
September 29th. Okay, which field office?
Fairfax.
Oh, Fairfax. Yep.
Yes.
And so did it get approved? What happened?
So basically, this was in 2022. So basically, she received I would call it weird call on September 16th from an agent that stated that he's from USCIS, and he told her that we have canceled your interview. She started asking him questions, why and all this. He told her, I have no information. If there is anything, we will update you. Then he hung up. So we never heard from.
So she didn't show up on the interview date.
It's not about the interview was on the 29th September, but they called her and canceled on September 16th.
So she didn't show up.
She did not go. Yes.
Okay. All right. So 2 years ago, anything happened since then?
I can't hear you.
Sorry. Has anything happened since September of 22?
No. Nothing happened. So what we did basically, she left to her country. She went back to India. Then she came back. Then she filed again. When did you file again? 2024. 2024. Which month?
Why'd you do that? Why did she
Because
refile? What happened?
we asked we took some information from wrong people, and they said
Yeah.
just go ahead and refile again.
Yeah. Okay.
So she filed on March 2024, and they
Okay.
sent her to do a fingerprint, and then they scheduled her for the interview on November 26th of 2024. She went for the interview,
Okay.
and she passed everything, but there is something strange, like the officer was asking her about some stuff that happened with her in 2021, and she complied. She answered everything, and
What stuff?
so basically she got stopped by HSI in 2021,
Why?
because there was money that she had with her and her friend at that time, but the money wasn't belong to her, it was belong to her friend. So they stopped her, and they just asked when they start asking her just questions. Then they released her. She never been arrested, never been convicted of
At the airport? You're talking about the airport?
no.
You're talking about the airport?
No, they were in a car.
Wait a minute. So Bob and I are driving down the street, and then what happens?
And then they got stopped first by a police car, and then two people who came and flashed their badges as they are special agent from HSI.
And how much money are we talking about?
Not sure. I think it was around $60,000 or $70,000
In cash?
in cash. But she
And
had nothing to do with all that. It was related
was
to her friend, but they asked her also, like, voluntarily to come with them just for a few questions. She went, they questioned her, then she released her. Her friend never been released, but they released her.
well, was it her friend's car or her car?
It was her friend's car.
And did the friend go to jail?
No, he didn't go to jail.
Did the friend lose the money?
I think he went to hire a lawyer for, like, because they seized the money from them.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay. So
And
I
and also, Jim, sorry to cut you, but clearly one of the agent told, I would say her name Rosa. He
Yeah.
told my friend that there was no victims at all. Like, they cannot find any victims, but they were just questioning about the source of this money.
So pull over the dude, and the dude has a bag of $60,000 or $70,000 in cash. Somehow
Yes.
the police find out. Was the dude a citizen or an immigrant?
He was a green card holder.
And do we know whatever happened to the dude, immigration wise?
He's still continuing his life.
But we don't know if he's a citizen.
No, not yet, because they don't talk to each other no more.
Okay. After that incident?
After that incident, yes.
Okay. And so what did the officers ask about at immigration when she went to her the naturalization interview on the
Yes.
second case? Basically,
Yeah, so
you just told me.
yeah, basically the same thing I told you. She just asked her, then she told her, like, what was your involvement with that friend, and where that friend stayed, do you still contact with him, all these type of questions. Then she asked her, why did you go back to India? She told her, I had to do surgery. Then she asked her, why did you take more than 6 months? Then she provided all the doctor documents. Then she said okay. Then she continued with with other questions, and then she asked her to if she want to change her name or keep the name the same, sign, document, everything. So everything went well. After that, then the officer left the office. Then she brought another guy, another agent with her, and they both had red pen, and they had her sign, and then they both also sign all the statements that she gave. Then
Okay.
she
So did
handed
she
her.
get a
She
copy of
handed.
that?
No, sir.
Did she get a
She
copy of
just
the statement? Okay.
no, she did not. She just
Okay.
handed her the paper that it says you passed the English and everything, and then a decision cannot be made.
Okay. So I'm going to pause for a minute. Everybody watching this show, if you're ever at an immigration interview and they take a statement from you, and the statement means that they're writing down the questions that they asked and the answers that you gave, the question that they asked, the answer that you gave, and then they'll print it out and they want you to sign it. Don't ever agree to sign it unless they first agree that they're going to give you a copy, because you're entitled to that. And it's very hard to get now because we need it. We need to know what's in that statement. Which field office was this?
Fairfax.
Oh, right. You said that. Okay. So, did the topic of her first naturalization application ever come up at the November 2024 interview?
Yes, they asked her. They told her like, why would you file again? And she told them like, because you guys took too long, cancel it, and then I just got some advices to refile again.
Okay, and then when the police came and HSI showed up,
yes,
did your friend Rosa ever hear the dude explain where that money came from?
No, they both were separated.
Both are separated. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And how about after? Did she ever ask him, "Hey, dude"? I mean, did she know the money was in the car when they got pulled over?
She did not even had a clue.
Yeah, and she told them that.
Yes.
Okay, so you said this was November 26, 2024, right?
Yes. Yes, the
interview?
interview was on November 26th. Yes, sir.
Okay, so they get 120 days. So that's December 26th, January 26th, February 26th, March 26th.
Yes.
So I would say that either she's going to get an answer in the next month, and I'd really like to see that answer if it's not an approval. But if it's an approval, I'd like to know that too. But if she doesn't get a decision within 120 days, she should sue them, because they're just going to sit on this case for a long time, because they're wondering whether she's a bad person and whether she was involved in something criminal with $60,000 or $70,000 in the car.
Oh, okay. And also, Jem, one last thing. I'm sorry for taking too much of your time.
You're fine.
There is something happened when she opened her online USCIS account. When they canceled, it used to say your interview has canceled, but 2 days ago she checked and it says your case has been actively reviewed, which is the old one.
Yeah, I don't really Yeah, I don't worry about that. That doesn't mean much. What does the new one say? Interview was completed.
What's the new one say? Case has been actively reviewed by USCIS.
Yeah. You're just chilling until after. I would say if you haven't heard anything by April 1st, send me an email and I can help. I can help Rosa.
Okay. And Jim, she also mailed a letter asking USCIS to withdraw the old case, because we got some advices also that if you have two cases, sometimes it blocks the new one from coming in.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that, but that's okay.
Okay.
She got her interview on the second case. That's all that matters, because that's what starts the clock.
Okay.
Thanks, Bob.
All right. Thank you so much.
See you, buddy. All right. Robert's asking how my new laptop is. I have an M4 MacBook Pro. It's great. I'm very happy with it. Very happy with it. Let's go to Tokyo. That'd be fun. Hello, Tokyo.
Hi, can you hear me?
How you doing?
I'm
Yeah, go
good.
ahead.
Thank you for all you do, Jim. I sent my packet on Friday after multiple, meltdowns, but I did. My packet for a
Nice.
marriage-based green card was 4.5 pounds. So I tried to put as
Oh
much
my.
as I could. Yes, I tried to put as much as I could, right? And I know that I'm not gonna have like anything like soon or anything, but I want to ask you like, what can I do to prepare for like a future interview or something? I watch a bunch of
Yep.
your videos. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I can. I
You're
watch a
fine.
bunch of your videos, and you said in one of them that I need to have copies. But I was wondering, is it copies of the things that I already sent? Is it new copies? Like, what do I need to like kind of be preparing for that?
Well, I would bring a full set of what you sent. See, I don't think you need
Okay.
2 sets of what you sent, just 1 set of what you sent in case anything comes up.
Uh-huh.
My answer to that question is you should watch my wife's video on YouTube about the fake interviews. We have a
Oh,
couple of
please.
them on
That's my
there.
favorite video. I watched it like 17 times. So,
And then I would have your spouse read you all the questions on the I-130 and all the questions on the I-45 week.
okay.
Because remember, the interview is an oral exam. They don't type out the questions for you. You don't get to read them. They ask you them. So it's good to hear them ask it out loud because that's how you're going to have to answer. But other than that, I would just chill and relax. It sounds like you're very prepared. I think you're going to be fine. I wouldn't spend too much time preparing for anything. I'd just be ready.
Okay. And then just take the documents. Okay. Thank you so much, Jim. And
Okay,
I've seen their videos all
yeah.
the time. Thank you.
Awesome. Congrats. See ya. Okay, bye. All right, Salam, if you turn off your camera, I'll pull you up next.
Jim, can you hear me?
Salam is here. Hello. Yeah, go ahead.
Jim, can you? Okay. So I have a
Yeah, I
quick
can hear you.
question regarding tax filing. I was wondering what, if any, are negative effects of me being a dependent on someone else's tax file. If I am going
Who are
to,
you? Are you the
yeah, so
petitioner or beneficiary?
if I'm going to sponsor my wife, in the summer.
Okay, so let's back up. So you're a U.S. citizen and you're married a foreign national and you're getting ready to file for adjustment of status, an I-130 and a 485 for your spouse, right?
Correct.
And have you yourself been filing tax returns in the last 3 years?
Yes.
You've been filing your own separate tax returns?
Yes.
And you've also been listed as a dependent on your parents' tax
Yeah,
returns?
my parents.
Have you talked to an accountant about that?
So we talked to our CPA and they said
Yeah.
that it's fine to be a dependent, but they couldn't give us definitive answers about immigration. So I was wondering if it could negatively affect me, especially when it comes to the affidavit of support.
Well, let's put that to the side for right now. How much was your adjusted gross income each of the last 3 years?
Over 20K each year.
Roughly. But not over 30?
Not over 30, no.
So you're going to need a co-sponsor.
Okay. Is that because of the...
Do you live with your parents?
Yes, I
don't
do.
make enough money.
Yep.
You live with your parents. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so here's the problem, okay? Ordinarily, the fact that you are dependent on your parents' taxes probably, first of all, I think that's very weird. I would check with another accountant whether that's kosher. I don't know if you're filing your own tax returns, if you can also be a dependent on someone else's taxes. I just don't know that because luckily I'm a lawyer and not a tax accountant. Okay, so I would double check that. That's the first. You're the first person to ever ask me this question or tell me that that's what's going on. Might happen all the time. I just have never heard of it before. Okay.
Okay.
So now here's the problem. And maybe it's not a problem, but you will have to file an affidavit of support, and you'll have to file send them your tax returns for the last 3 years. And if you live with your parents, they're both going to have to file affidavit of support, and you're going to need all their taxes and information. So they might think it's a little weird that you're listed as a dependent when they look at that, but probably they won't even notice it. But what I do know is you're going to need to fill out an I-864. Then your household members are going to need to file out their own, and then you're going to have to show taxes and income for the last 3 years.
Okay. It was just mainly asking about the dependency, if that would throw kind of some questions.
I mean, you're knocked out. You're knocked out anyway. You're knocked out anyway of being the only sponsor because you don't make enough money. I am worried about this relationship of you filing a tax return. Did you get a tax refund last year?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm worried that they're going to think that you and your parents are double dipping. So I would talk to a different CPA to see if that's okay. Immigration wise, none of this is probably going to matter.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we've just been working with our CPA with those things, but mainly I was wondering about the immigration stuff.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, good luck, Salam. See you, buddy. All right. That's it for today's show, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow, March 3rd at noon Central. Can't eat lunch, so we'll do Ramadan call number 3, March 3rd at noon Central. Have a great night, everybody. Hello, Priscilla. Big up to all the Yardies. Goodbye, my friends. Bye, Rocio. Bye, Robert. Bye, Laura. Bye, everybody. Is Dammy here? I don't know. Goodbye, Fatuma. We'll see you guys later. Have a great night.
I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of disease.